own podcast too, and hopefully not as much technical difficulties as you do as I just had.
Not that much, but I'm gonna work on it. It's a lot. It's a lot happening with regards to the pandemic and just trying to find myself and what I want to do. And I feel like everybody's going through this soul searching journey. So I'm right there with them.
Oh, awesome! And what are some of the parts of your soul that you're searching? Living in Kingston. I mean, it's obviously epilepsy, and we'll talk about that later. But you're a very creative woman. I know you're a creative art director, and it seems like you do graphic design and stuff. What other parts of the soul are you searching?
Um, Really and truly, my the ultimate thing for me is just working on my mental health. Um, that's something I can work on. Besides having epilepsy, I take my meds every day, and that's something that I have control over. But when it comes on to my mental health and all the fears and anxiety that I have, that's my main focus right now. So soul searching, just trying to be okay with being alone. Um, I'm not alone, but just being okay with it. Especially when you do have epilepsy and they're just like, well, anything can happen when you're having a seizure, and if there isn't anyone there, and you can have a concussion, and it can get from 0 to 100 real quick. But yeah, just trying to find myself mentally and what that looks like.
I love that, Vanessa. Uh, that's amazing. And it's such a large part of epilepsy. And it's something that I as well am super passionate about. And I think um, it needs to be something that we're focusing on more and more, for sure. I mean, not only does epilepsy physically affect our brains, but right, mentally. And um, I facilitate a support group for adults with epilepsy, and one of the big conversations is always how how do we go from day to day? Or
Yeah.
even last week it was, and Nathan was on the call last week, and I thought this was a really, we have a seizure and we feel like we have to apologize to people. I'm so sorry I had a seizure. I'm so sorry, and you feel guilty, and then the guilt can lead to, I'm depressed. I made you feel this way. I did this. I did that. And how do you not feel guilty? How do you pick yourself up? How do you make yourself feel better? How do you go from day to day? I mean, these are so many questions.
Mhm.
And what do you do? What could you tell our listeners and viewers? That takes you from one day to the next. That
Well, what I can say is that coping looks different for everyone. So, when you're on social media or whatever it is, the main things are waking up early, meditating, working out. These are just general things, journaling, stuff like that. But when it comes to real life, some of those things you aren't gonna be able to do fully. And I try to balance as much as I can. Of course, I'd love to like meditate for a half hour and feel refreshed, but sometimes I can't even stay focused for 10 minutes. So it's just taking it day by day and just remembering at some point to focus on yourself a little bit instead of just constantly going, 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 because yeah, it doesn't look the same for everyone.